Invisible Cities is a 1972 novella by the Italian writer Italo Calvino. Calvino was born in Cuba in 1923. At that time, his parents, both left-wing idealists, were working for the Cuban government. He was given the name Italo to remind him of his Italian heritage, and the family returned there in 1925. During World War II, he joined the Italian resistance, then the Communist Party. He wrote socialist realist novels in the immediate aftermath of the war, but never felt satisfied with them. In 1952, he decided to produce a novel of the kind he'd actually want to read. The Cloven Viscount is about an aristocrat who is physically split into two by a cannonball and who subsequently becomes two individuals, one good, one bad. It was the first of many fabulous novels for which Calvino is nowadays remembered, and of which Invisible Cities is one. Calvino left the Communist Party in 1956, disillusioned by the Soviet invasion of Hungary and by the emerging revelations of Stalinist tyranny. But he always remained a liberal. In 1967, he met Che Guevara, and the following year he collaborated with the French theorists Roland Barthes and Raymond Queneau. He died in 1985 at the age of 61. Invisible Cities is a series of 55 pen portraits of fantastic cities, mostly set in a semi-mythologized desert culture, mostly impossible. They're presented as a series of descriptions given by the 13th century Venetian explorer Marco Polo to the then Emperor of China, Kublai Khan. Marco Polo and Kublai Khan were real people who actually met. Polo, according to his own account, served in the emperor's court for a while, but Calvino's descriptions are disguised meditations on community and logical possibility. To make matters even more complex, each city is given a category and a number, so we have several instances of, amongst other things, cities and memories, cities and desire, cities and signs, scattered apparently randomly throughout the book. The cities can, however, be read about under the category headings, the novella's in-between bits being skipped. To what extent might that provide a very different reading experience? What insights might it provide? And why have the category headings been separated in the actual book in the way they have? In other words, the reader's tantalized by the possibility that this novella might just be a puzzle whose superficial meaning can be discounted, a system of signs like Kabbalists held the Torah is, with an arcane knowledge available to those who can discover the right rearrangement. But of course, this is a postmodernist novel, so there is no deeper meaning. There's no difference between appearance and reality, inner and outer, essence and accident. They're all on the same level. Or at least that's the common understanding of Invisible Cities. Apart from that rather cosmetic coding device, however, it might not be so postmodern. It's not very different to 18th century books such as Laurence Sterne's Tristram Shandy and Rudolf Erich Rasper's Baron Munchausen. And in fact, that may be the company in which Calvino best belongs. The Cloven Viscount and the Baron in the Trees, two of his most famous protagonists, are recognizably 18th century characters. But then maybe there is a code in Invisible Cities. Maybe it even leads to a deeper level and some sort of secret knowledge. Perhaps you can find it. I can't. But then maybe I would say that.